So what happens when a doctor finds you permanent and stationary or at maximal medical improvement? The terms are kind of interchangeable these days, MMI and PNS, but basically what happens once you reach that status, the doctor is saying your condition is not going to change significantly over the next year with or without treatment. Your condition is essentially plateaued. Usually what will happen then is it's time to start moving forward to settlement. So a few of the issues that come up, one thing that happens if you've been getting temporary disability, the insurance company has been paying you TTD because you've been off work. Once a doctor finds you permanent and stationary, or MMI, as soon as the adjuster gets that report, they're going to cut off the temporary disability. That will stop. If there's an estimate of what the permanent disability may be, the insurance company does have a duty to start permanent disability advances. Those are generally going to be at a much lower dollar amount than the temporary disability. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you've been getting temporary disability, doctor finds you permanent and stationary, temporary disability is going to stop. If you disagree with that, let's say the QME finds you permanent and stationary, but your treating physician does not. In that case, you're going to be in for an uphill battle. The insurance company almost certainly will cut off temporary disability based on the QME. What you may need to do is take it to the board, file a declaration of readiness to proceed to an expedited hearing, and have a judge determine whose reporting is more persuasive or more substantial. That is probably going to be an uphill battle. You probably want to reach out to an attorney if you're going to do that, because essentially you would be taking the case to trial on the status of temporary disability. So other things that may come up. You, let's say, haven't been getting temporary disability because you've been at work, you've been doing modified duties. Once the doctor finds you PNS, at that point, you usually do move forward to settlement. The doctor will issue permanent work restrictions most of the time. Your employer will need to go through those and engage in the interactive process. That starts to involve more of an employment law rather than the workers' comp that I deal with. But once the doctor finds you permanent and stationary, that's when you then start to move forward to settlement, either with stipulations with request for award or with a compromise and release. The doctor, when they find you permanent and stationary, will also generally address permanent disability, whole person impairment. So those are the two main things that happen. One, you need to know if you've been getting temporary disability, if you're PNS, that will stop. The temporary disability will stop. The next thing to know, once you're permanent and stationary, it's generally time to work out an agreement with the insurance company. And if not, it will end up going to the board because it's time to settle or wrap up the case. Those are the two bottom lines. If you have other questions on that topic, drop us a comment down below. We'd be happy to help.